and made me confident and made me able to tell other people who are having such a hard time that it does get better. And yeah, it's blind faith that you are worthy of being loved and you are on this planet for a reason. Hey guys, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to day 5 of my 31 days of vlogging. My cat is like, she's super talkative and she keeps meowing at me. Today I wanted to talk about what my channel was originally intended to be about. And this sort of came up because last night when I launched my YouTube channel for my tiny house, and I will link that video above, and I'll link the channel ad for the new channel so that you guys can see it. That way you don't have to watch the vlog just to get to the other channel. I am really excited about the channel, but at the same time, most of my views on this channel have come from people watching my tiny house. I have like 120,000 views or 130,000 views, and primarily they are from my tiny house videos. Now my Lizzy Flowers channel, my personal channel, the channel that I wanted to originally have to tell my story, has to stand on its own 2 feet instead of standing on its 6 wheels. I thought of that earlier and I was like, that is so cheesy, but yeah, I said it. And I'm worried that people will stop coming to the channel because they see those videos, because there's another place for those videos. But at the same time, that change is necessary because this channel became too much about my tiny house and not enough about my story, which is the reason I originally opened it. I initially was going to write a book about my life, how my life was hard for me and what I wish I had told basically child me. I did a video today for my Fridays with Flowers doing the questions nobody ever asked me tag. And one of the questions, I actually took it out because the answer is too long. What would adult me tell my child self? That's a really long question. And that is essentially why I made this YouTube channel. And it's not just for kids. It's what would the me now that has confidence and is a happy person, what would she tell past me that was so miserable and having such a hard time and had no hope? And I haven't intentionally kept this off my channel, but when I was 15, I almost died of an intentional overdose because I truly believed there was no hope for me. There was no hope for ever being cared about or, you know, getting married and all these things that like young kids dream about. I never ever believed that that was possible for me, and I never believed that I would have a sense of family or a sense of being surrounded by people that cared about me. Up till when I was 15, I felt completely alone. I believed there was no hope and that I was a mistake. I knew the pregnancy that I came from was a mistake, and I knew that my adoption was completely necessary, and I knew that my parents that adopted me wished that they had had a biological child, which they had later on. And I just felt like my life was a mistake. Literally, me existing was a mistake. And I was so unhappy, I just accepted that I was a mistake and that I needed to be taken off the earth. Now, that is not at all how I feel. I believe that that entire struggle was necessary, and it made me who I am and made me confident and made me able to tell other people who are having such a hard time, and not the same type of hard time as me, just any type of hard time, that it does get better. And yeah, it's blind faith. And it doesn't have to be blind faith in God or blind faith in the universe or blind faith in karma or anything like that. It has to be blind faith that you are worthy of being loved and you are on this planet for a reason. There's something that you are meant to do, and you must do it, and you must stick through it to be there to do it, right? You can't just bail like I tried to do. The reason I started this channel was because I wanted to tell my story, because I was telling my story to people, and I was telling my story to strangers, and I would hear these incredible stories from strangers, and I would tell them my story, and not all of it. I would give them little tidbits, and they're like, wow, you should really write a book. Like, this is really interesting. Your life has been all over the place, and you would never know it from just meeting you. Like, you have to talk to me to know what my life was like. I actually did start writing a book, and it is in the works, but it's not personal enough. And also, when I was having a really hard time, I didn't want to read. I didn't have the energy to go to the bookstore and try and find a self-help book. I literally like curled into a ball, turned on the internet, and then just lay there crying, listening to people's voices on the screen. And I know that's probably like, sounds really sad, but that's what my life was. Back then it wasn't necessarily YouTube, but it was videos that people had recorded in their homes, and I felt like I could talk to them. I didn't even talk to them. I felt like they were talking to me, which was more than most people I felt like were doing. I don't even know what I want to say. I know it in my heart, I just don't know it in words. it was these little things that people told me throughout my life. Usually strangers would say something to me, and I don't remember what they said. I remember how it felt, like they believed in me and they had a hard story to tell, and they were doing well and they were happy. And I would hear, I would see these people online, and I would meet them in person, and those tiny interactions made such a huge impact on my life. Later on, all of a sudden I would understand what one of these strangers said to me, and it would click, and I'd say, hey, they were right, like I am doing better, or I can do this. And I guess that's the point of my channel. And in summary, it's hard to summarize something that took me a lifetime to figure out. But in summary, it's that I want to tell past me, or people who are having struggles the way past me was, that a lot of us have been there, and when people don't talk about it and they don't put it on Facebook, they don't put it on Instagram or Twitter or anything like that, people have hard times and they don't share it, and they put on a face, and then everybody else thinks that they're alone. And that's bullshit, honestly, it's bullshit. I either don't post on Facebook when I'm having a bad day, or I post some real truths on there. I know a lot of people don't want to share things that are negative, or arguments or rough times that they've had on Facebook because they feel like it's not appropriate, they're afraid their work is gonna see it, something like that. But honestly, either don't go on Facebook or block your work. It's okay to be positive about something negative and include that something hard is happening to you and you're trying to stay positive. But it's not okay to just say everything's fine when it's not, because it gives a lot of people, especially people who are having a really rough time and the younger community, it tells them that because they're having a rough time that they're alone, because you're not having a rough time. If I'm having a rough time, I'm gonna be honest about it. I believe that other people should do the same. I keep saying you, but I'm just talking about like the general you, like this is what I believe. I'm not trying to impose anything on anyone. Just feel strongly about this, so I'm like very passionate. That's all I really wanted to say for today. I know this stuff is rough to hear, especially on a Friday. I'm sorry for that. If you want to see funny stuff, go over to my Fridays with Flowers. The message is positive. The message I'm trying to tell you is positive. I am here to tell my story because my life turned around, and I was able to turn my life around from a girl who tried to kill herself and almost succeeded to a woman who is very strong, who wants to support other people, who's able to support other people, and somebody who believes in herself. I believe in myself. If you want to lighten the mood quite a bit, I will link my Fridays with Flowers video above me. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. Big YouTube hug. Jason's taking me out to dinner. I hope you have somebody wonderful to take you out to dinner. And if you don't, take your own dang self out to dinner. You deserve that shit. Bye! I don't know why I swore so much in this video. Feeling passionate. I'm getting better at filming. Sometimes I feel really passionate and then I look at the video and I'm like, I'm literally yelling at the camera. I now know how my boyfriend feels because I'm editing and I'm like, stop yelling at me. I know you have something to prove, Lizzy, but you don't have to yell. I guess I'll put this in bloopers or something.